I've been dating my best friend's ex-wife for 3 years. He thinks we met at a bar last month. The truth is, I was in her bed while he was at the hospital holding their newborn daughter, and I haven't spent a single night away from her since. Me and Mark, we were brothers. Not by blood, but by choice. We grew up in the same neighborhood, shared our first beers, and I was the best man at his wedding. His wife, Sarah, was always the perfect partner. At least that's what he told everyone. But when you're that close to a couple, you see the cracks before they do. Mark was a workaholic. He thought providing meant being gone 14 hours a day. Sarah, she didn't want the money. She wanted to be seen, and I was always there to look. It started with a venting session over coffee. Then it turned into late-night drinks when Mark was stuck at the office. Then came the night Mark's daughter was born. He was stuck in traffic, frantic, calling me to get to the hospital because Sarah was in labor. I got there first. I held her hand through the first contractions. When the nurse told me to step out so she could rest, I didn't go to the waiting room. I stayed in the room, and in that high-stress, high-adrenaline moment, the line didn't just blur, it vanished. We crossed a point of no return while her husband was still 20 miles away on the highway. For 3 years, I played the role of the loyal friend. I went to their backyard BBQs, I bought that little girl birthday presents, and I sat across from Mark while he cried on my shoulder about his failing marriage, and how Sarah seemed distant. I'd look him in the eye, tell him it would be okay, and then go home and wait for the text from his wife telling me she'd left the back door unlocked. 6 months ago, they finally finalized the divorce. I waited a respectful amount of time, then told Mark one bumped into Sarah at a cafe. I asked for his blessing to take her out. He gave it to me. He actually told me, at least I know she's with a good man who won't hurt her. But here's the thing about secrets. They have a way of crawling out of the grave. Last night, we were celebrating our 1-month anniversary at a high-end restaurant. Mark decided to surprise us with a bottle of champagne sent to the table. He walked over to join us, grinning, and sat down. Then he pulled out his phone and said, "Hey, I found this old cloud drive from 3 years ago. I was looking for baby photos, but I found a video file I don't recognize. The thumbnail looks like Sarah's old bedroom, but there's a man's watch on the nightstand. A watch exactly like one I bought you for your 30th birthday." He hit play. Part 2. The silence at that table was louder than the music playing in the restaurant. I could feel the sweat instantly soak through my shirt. Mark was staring at the screen, then at my wrist, then back at the screen. The video was grainy, but the watch, a limited edition chronograph with a distinct leather strap, was unmistakable. Sarah reached for the phone, her voice shaking. "Mark, don't, not here." Mark didn't look up. He didn't even blink. He just watched the video play out. On the screen, the door to their old bedroom opened. You couldn't see my face yet, but you could hear my voice, my actual voice, telling her how much I'd missed her while he was away at the hospital. Then, the camera caught it. My face, just for a second, but it was enough. Mark looked up. The brotherly love in his eyes didn't just die. It turned into something cold and sharp. He didn't scream. He didn't cause a scene. He just leaned in close, his breath smelling like that expensive champagne he just bought us. 3 years, he whispered. You sat at my table. You held my daughter. You watched me break down in tears and you patted my back while you were the one tearing my life apart. I tried to open my mouth to explain, to lie, to apologize, to do anything, but Sarah beat me dead. It wasn't just a mistake, Mark, she said, her voice turning cold. If she was going down, she was taking everyone with her. It was the only thing that kept me sane while you were providing for a family you weren't even present for. Mark stood up slowly. He took the bottle of champagne, poured a glass, and then, very calmly, poured it over my head. The cold liquid ran down my face, stinging my eyes. The entire restaurant was watching now. Keep her, Mark said, tossing the phone onto the table. But I checked the cloud drive, Sarah. I checked the dates of the videos. Then I checked the medical records from the hospital. He leaned over to me, a terrifying smile on his face. You've been playing dad to my daughter for 3 years, haven't you? Well, the DNA results I ordered this morning just hit my email. Turns out, she's not mine, she's yours. He walked out of the restaurant without looking back. Now, Mark is suing me for every cent of child support he paid over the last 3 years. Sarah is terrified she's going to lose custody because of the evidence of the affair. And me? I'm looking at the woman I thought I loved, realizing that our entire relationship was built on a lie that just destroyed 3 lives. I got exactly what I wanted, and now, I have to live with it.